Hey guys, I got some great news. Got some cool guests coming next couple weeks. I did a bunch of recordings this week and I got a bunch scheduled for the coming weeks. And yeah, I'm really excited. Thanks for listening to this show. It's growing, definitely. A lot of talented people are going to be joining me on this show for a great conversation. Possibly even some in-studio live performance. So I'm super excited about that. On today's episode, we had a great guy. His name is Fern. I've mentioned him before on the Luke Dowler episode. Got to work with him recording a song for Luke Dowler that particular weekend. And yeah, he's a super nice dude, super talented. We got to talk about the new album that he just put out with his band, The Foes of Fern. And the whole recording process and writing process of that album we got to talk about. It's pretty fascinating. A lot of hard work went into it. Please follow the links in the description of this episode. Follow, Foes of Fern on Instagram. Check out the album Carpe Diem. All right, please do that. Show them some love. And just a reminder, doing virtual drum lessons and doing drum tracks for your songs. Email badumbizz.com if you'd like a virtual drum lesson with me or drum tracks for your songs. All right. Without further ado, enjoy the episode with Fern from The Foes of Fern. What's up, everybody? Anthony Frieda here. Welcome to Ba Dum Bizz. Got a great guest. He's just released an album. His name is Fern from Foes of Fern. Welcome, Fern.
Yo, Anthony, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Excited. Yeah, we were just talking right before recording and about Joe Palm. You listeners will hear this episode, but Joe Palm engineered your record and helped you, record it. And he told me so many cool details about it, and it excited me. And I thought I got to hear Fern's perspective and his stories about it. And yeah, man, it's exciting.
Yeah, definitely exciting. Like, it's cool that you brought up Palm because, it's The Foes of Fern, but it's Palm and Maya's album. Like, I wrote the music, Palm produced it. Like, he even, changed some of the arrangements while he was working on it. Like, he put maybe 1,000 hours in it. I have no idea how much time he actually put in it, but too much time for sure.
And he said over the course of a couple years, this was right. It was just maybe you had some material. And then eventually, you know what? Why don't we do? You guys did single releases, right? Up to the album, which is so smart, by the way. And that seems to be a thing. Hey, let's we'll amp up and promote a new single every couple months or every couple weeks, and then the release of the full thing. So cool. Yeah, tell me about the origin, when it began. What inspired it.
Back in 2015, I was in a band that ended and had a great time in that band. It was awesome. Spent 5 or 6 years in it. And it ended because you have members. And once there's 4 or 5 members in a band, you all need to work democratically to keep the project going. And I love that environment. I've done that a lot. I just really needed a project that could live forever. Because once a band ends, you have to convince everyone in the band to bring it back. So with The Foes of Fern, I can have this project live forever. So 2015 happened. I had a bunch of songs that I had written myself, and I was getting ready to, start my own solo career, started playing with some other musicians. And in 2016, we decided to start recording the songs. Fast forward 5 or 6 months, and I started playing in other bands. I was playing with Avery Mandeville, Julian Fulton, The Burns, so many other ones too, the Lords of Liechtenstein. So I decided to put that music on pause for a little bit. So The Foes of Fern as a band kind of didn't end. It just kind of went on hiatus. And I would go into the studio every other month to record the cello parts. All right, now let's record the steel drums. Now let's record the bass. Now we're recording the guitars and keys. So it was a very slow process because we would do one instrument at a time, and we wouldn't even do all the songs at a time. So we did so many sessions, and because I was playing in a bunch of other bands, like I was focused. My focus was kind of on that other music at that time. So fast forward to 2019, all those bands end, and I'm sitting on this album that I've worked on for 3 years, and there's a mini orchestra on it. There's 3 different piano players on it. There's like 17 guitar tracks, and it's this big project that I've been working on. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, all right, let's finish it. So Palm and I, we did the last couple of recording. I drove to Boston in the summer of 2019 to record this harp player, and that was the second to last thing we recorded. The last thing was some vocals for Jesse McCormick. And there it is. The album, we finished it, and now that all those other projects have gone away, I can bring this focus back in. And it's a nice thing that I can have because I can always focus on this music if I want to, or I can put it on pause and work with other people and come back to it.
It's great. It's a great idea. I like the idea that you just, well, first of all, I mean, you know so many people clearly.
Yeah.
And you clearly value the musicians you meet, because I mean, more than 10 people were involved in this recording process, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, without singers, I'd say there's about 25 different musicians that played on it, and then I had like 20 or 30 different people just like do backup harmonies and gang vocals and stuff.
So cool. I mean, and like, look, for any listeners who don't know what it takes to record something, to get people in a room like that,
It's so hard.
you know what I mean? To schedule that is so difficult.
That's why it took 4 years. It's not that we worked on it for every day for 4 years, but I knew that there was a harp player that I wanted to record on it. Her name was Mimi. She lived in Boston, and all right, I'm going to Boston and I'm renting studio time. I'm going to do that. And it took me 5 months to actually get myself to Boston once I decided I really wanted to do that. I want a string quartet on it. So I spent the time, I wrote it out, and then I spent 3 more months finding the string players and booking the studio session and writing out the parts, and boom, now we're in the session. So like, it was probably like a month or 2 worth of actual recording. It's just when you're scheduling with a bunch of people, and all those people don't have like ownership in the music. They're doing it because it's fun. They want to be a part of it. But like, not their number one thing. So you really got to work with people's schedules and decide, do you want to just release it, or do you want to actually get everything you want on it, and then when it's done, put it out? So 4 years because of that.
And I got to include this too, because you're an arranger. You went to Berkeley, right, for arranging?
Yeah, I was a CWP major, which was contemporary writing and production. So 2 of the songs on the album I wrote during Berkeley. Carpe Diem was a song I wrote for like my pop writing class. And Bike Song was my final for my like pop arranging class. So that's why the Bike Song arrangement was really big. And then I decided to do that type of arrangement for Carpe Diem and make it like even bigger.
Yeah, it's a big song. I heard, I mean, that's the one song I really was like, holy shit, what a sound.
Yeah, because you're not going to get everything in 1 listen in 5 listens. Like if you really want to hear all the different nuances, you're going to have to listen to it like 10, 20 times. And we're going to release like instrumental versions, orchestral versions, the rock band version. So like we got like a deluxe album coming out eventually.
That's fucking cool, man. I like that. By the way, that idea, what you just said, I mean, I've heard it like musicians talk about it. Like, okay, this particular album, if you listen to it the 5th time, you'll hear little details. Oh, is that, whatever it might be. But you're intending to write and record like that. And I dig that. That is so cool. It's like distant breadcrumbs, man.
Well, I never imagined I'd be like playing these songs live, really. So I just wanted the recordings to be like the most perfect sense they could be, because I was playing in other bands. I was in, the bass, guitar, drums, synth band, where it was just like, that's the parts, that's the record, and it sounds great. But I wanted this to be my art album where I can like really just flex as much as possible and use every ounce of knowledge I got. And then all those bands ended, and now I'm trying to play these songs. So I'm like, all right, well, there's gonna be a live way that we play them, and then there's gonna be the recording. We're never gonna be the recording, so let's just make the live version as cool as they can be.
It's smart because when you're in and out of bands, songs go to die sometimes. It's really sad. Like really good material are just, they get lost in the dust, man.
Oh, so lost, man.
Right. And so man, when Joe mentioned that you're an arranger, and then he started talking about the recording process and then and you mentioned it just now, you wrote out string like a string quartet part.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not easy to do.
Well,
Holy shit, that's impressive. Is what
super
I'm.
easy. You gotta like you really got to know your players. So that's what I've realized. And like my arrangements aren't like incredible. Like I write them out and then I hand them to people and then the players are like, change that, change that, change that. It's really just kind of like getting the ideas out and then like knowing how someone's going to attack the music. So like I play with this violin player, Victoria, and she's a genius. So I'll just like write out a score and then give it to her and she'll like really like beef it out. So it's using your team, man. Like I was never going to be able to record this album the way that Palm recorded it. I was never going to be able to mix it the way that he mixed it. I was never going to be able to play the drums the way that Owen played the drums. So it's just using the people that you have and just making it like as much as a team effort. Because for me, there's power in numbers, and the better your team is, the better chances you have at succeeding.
Dude, what you just said is so powerful. The power of we is so much more potent than the power of me, for sure.
Yeah, which is why I kind of like don't know if like putting my name in the band was the best thing, but I always wanted it to be the foes of Fern. Like it's it's like I'm like the secondary thing. It's really the foes. That's the name of the band, and then it's just like I'm kind of like leading the charge of it. But like I never wanted it to be like this is only me because Palm did so much. My tuba player Victoria Lawrence has been in the band for like 4 years and has like sweated and bled with me forever. So you need your people no matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You can't do it on your own. No one. Elon Musk didn't even do it on his own. Like I'm sure he has his
Oh yeah. Yeah, what you just said too. I mean that's a thing that maybe you, like certain bands, in American rock or whatever history, it's like maybe even British too, where the lead singer or whatever is kind of like pompous, and it's kind of like, oh, you guys could just ride my coattails, And what you said is way more realistic, because it's not like you did everything. You had to put everything together, is I guess what I'm saying. It's the complete opposite of it. To take all of that on it's a lot of work. It's a lot of money. I'm sure.
It's
time.
I got none of
effort. And yeah, to put some trust in your friends who are obviously talented. It is cool. You're gonna have great memories, man, of this.
I already do. I have awesome memories from all the bands, like with the Foes, with my band Aracuda, the Burns, Avery and the Man Devils, Julian Fulton, Lords of Liechtenstein. Like, yeah, I love them. I started writing a tune the other day, just talking about like the memories and the bands and stuff, because it's just like, yeah, we're doing something together, but it's like hanging out with your friends and it's creating something. When you create one sound with all your friends, it's so cool. It's so cool when the music sounds good. When the music doesn't sound good, it hurts. When it sounds good and like you can hear everyone's personality in their instruments, man. Like even that one time we jammed, dude, we were all just making one sound and working at it together. Like I love the way that record came out.
Dude, man, I mentioned that multiple times on this show and with Luke and with Joe. And, for listeners, this is the other piece of that story, like Fern here was playing bass in that studio session with Luke Daller. And like, I never met him, we never met, like we never played together either, to meet and to play together on the same day, but also like record together.
Yeah.
It's like it could be a little risky. I like I could have sucked that day, you know what I mean? Or something, you know what I mean? Just joking a little bit.
Man. Dude, I was really, really impressed with like, you're playing like really like simple parts, but just playing them really well. And like, and it's really important when you're playing with someone new, like this is something I've made this mistake so much in my life. And I'm happy that we met in my later years where I wouldn't make this mistake. It's, you gotta fucking listen. Just because like I normally do things one way, you normally do things one way, like there's gonna have to be compromise. You're gonna have to learn the way that people talk about music, the way that they approach music. And if both people are open to it, you can really get somewhere. And I feel like we were listening to each other, really trying to lock in that kick and that bass and like not try to step on the vocals too much, which is something that I've been guilty of so much.
It's okay. I mean, yeah, you're totally right though. It was like bread and butter. That bass and drum part was just bread and butter, and it was hot right out of the oven, fresh, delicious, simple. Simple. I mean, and you're right. And it's not easy to do at all, to play that simply, but to make it feel good for like 3-4 minutes straight. And I don't know what that is, by the way. And that's like a nice little segue. What is that to you? Like, you've played bass, but you also play guitar. Apparently, you've dabbled in some keys.
Yeah.
What is that? How do you describe that? Like playing with feel.
So I don't know. For me, doesn't matter what instrument I'm on. You just kind of like figure out when it's your turn to fill the space, and you use the material that's already there. So like if I'm on the bass, I'll listen to what the kick's doing to kind of figure out my rhythm a little bit, or it doesn't matter what instrument it is, but the vocals, the melody are always going to give you ideas to play. So when I'm soloing on the guitar, maybe I'm taking little melodies from the vocals. When I'm playing a little keys part, maybe I'm listening to what the guitar is doing and I'm trying to like build off of it. A lot of the times you don't have to make new material. Like, unless you're starting from the ground up. If you're coming in and writing the song on yourself, of course, you have nothing, you got to get there. But the material is already there. You should build from what you have. And like I do say I'm a bass player. A lot of people don't believe me because I'm a guitarist, and a lot of guitarists, like, they don't actually play the bass. They play the bass and like they're just, playing it as they would play the guitar. But I really try to play the bass as a bass, not like a guitar.
You did. I actually thought, I walked away thinking you were a bass player.
Thank you, because a lot of people won't like book me for sessions because they're like, no, you play guitar. I'm like, no, but I can play bass too. I promise. I promise.
I don't know what it is with that shit, by the way. I
mean, it's just experience.
Piss me off, man.
Because like, no, I get it, because like it's people watching a lot of guitar players saying they can play bass, and like, you don't know me.
I guess you know what it is though. It's an easy fix. Just ask the person to fucking make me a video of you playing this song. Simple.
There you go.
And then if it feels okay, so easy these days. So okay. So then, as a bass player, well, first of all, I gotta compliment what you just said, because it is a very good thing what you just said. The information's already there.
It's all there, bro.
That's so smart. So and that really just takes exactly what you just said in the beginning, which was listening. You just got to listen really well. It's all there. I like that. I dig that. As a bass player, though, in your experience, have you ever? Because I've had a bass player on before, and have you ever played a gig where the drummer just didn't have a pocket?
Yeah. I mean, of course, I played the worst gig of my life in Boston back in like 2014. Like, we were just at a gig and our drummer didn't show up. We were young. So we're like, hey, you play the drums, come play. And like, there was no communication. There was no, like, the drummer didn't realize like he doesn't know the song. So maybe like let us start them and then come in. So like, yeah. And I played a lot of open mics when you're up there and you're just like, okay, where is the tempo? Because like, if I don't know where the tempo is, I'm going to come down on a beat and that person is not going to come down on the same beat as me. So what I do in those situations is you listen. And if what I'm hearing is he's not listening to me, so I'll just stop. I'll just give you whole notes, and I'll just like whole note. And then if he starts to like pick up, then I'll try to like move more with it. But like, you can't compete. If you're playing music and it's not sounding good and no one else is like laying back, then you got to lay back. You can't push through the shit. You got to let them figure out what they're doing, and then you can come and support it.
That's it's almost the same. It's like a strategy for what you just said, but the philosophy you said before. Yeah. I mean, you could apply that to drums too.
You can apply it to any instrument. Yeah. You could be playing with the bass player that's just like going nuts. And you literally have to like, all right, here's just a hi-hat until this guy calms down. Yeah. All right. Now I can play again.
Yeah. I've had like I will say this. I can't talk bad about any bass players, because most bass players I've played with have been able to lock in. But I have had like on a cover situation where the person playing keyboards was playing left-hand bass. We didn't have the bass player.
Okay.
And it was, he was splitting the right hand and the left hand. The right hand was doing all these chords and melody. And then the left hand, and he's also singing at the same time. So the left-hand bass was it was not in the pocket. It was didn't feel good. So it was very difficult to establish a pocket. And it was almost like I have to change just to be with this person, as opposed to if this person would only settle into that's because that's our role.
Yeah.
And
I guess it's just like, it also comes to with like maybe experience, or it's someone's like their personality? Like, do you have patience or not? Are you on stage at a gig? Are you just playing an open mic? Are you in the basement jamming? Because like sometimes when you're on stage, people panic, and like once they're panicking, there's nothing you can do. But if you're just like doing like a little low key thing, you should be able to pull back and like really listen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, man. I mean, yeah, that's the best advice. So straight from Fern, musicians out there, like just listen first before you play.
Yeah.
And yeah, the answers are there already. I love that. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna steal that from you.
Yeah, and that's how I do my like horn writing and string writing. I normally just like I take the melody from somewhere else and then I kind of expand from it. And then after a while, it'll feel like a new idea because it will sound differently. But like the seed of it will be because of this like 3 or 4 note little guitar riff or like the vocal hook or whatever it is.
Do you see music as, because again, I listened to that song, Carpe Diem, big song, a lot of space, right? How do you see music? How do you hear music? How do you know I want a harp here? And like I'm willing to travel to Boston.
I don't even know. So the reason I wanted harp, I guess it's a little twofold because one, I knew the player. And she was a really good friend of mine, really good friend of mine. I wrote some songs for her too. Like I wanted her to be a part of the music, but also I was working on this song Carpe Diem, where it's like this big, beautiful, romantic song. And I just wanted to include as many romantic instruments as I could. The harp, the mandolin, the accordion, violin, cellos, viola, like all those like really romantic sounding music instruments in it. So that's why I really, really wanted the harp. I was just trying to be true to the genre, which was like this weird like Disney meets like Frank Sinatra, old school retro vibe thing.
So cool, man. I mean, like, again, I don't know how like when I have something like just on the keyboard or whatever, some bullshit I produced, it's like, oh, that sounds pretty good. And then I think, yeah, I'm sure trumpets would sound good right here, but I'm not going to try because I'll fuck it up. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, well, you got to trust the players. You just got to get good players because you can hand a good player a bad part and they can help you make it better, which happened a lot on the record. You could hand a bad player a great part and there's nothing that they can do.
Oh,
yeah,
man, this is all good knowledge to have. What's on the album? What would you say was the most challenging song to write or just to record?
The most challenging one to write, arrangement-wise, was Carpe Diem because that was the biggest one. Play It Back has this like outro section where I still don't think we got right. I hope Palm doesn't listen to this because he worked really hard on it, and every time I was like, it's just still not right. The ending to Play It Back is not how I really wanted it to be. I think it's like this big round thing that goes and goes and goes, and it's just, I think it gets a little too cluttered. And I wanted to pull back on it, and I just wasn't conveying that enough. Girl in All My Songs was a little rough just because it was long. It's like a 7-minute song, and I was kind of going back and forth on, do I need 2 trumpet solos, a 1-minute guitar solo, and a 40-second orchestral outro? But like, I wanted to like make that as big as possible because that last song on the album is the song that like we end every set with. Every single Foes of Fern set ends with it. When people think of our music, that's like the first song that pops into their head. So like I wanted to be as grand as possible. So like being the last song on the album, I wanted to have a little bit of like an overture effect, where it comes in at the end and all of a sudden you hear the strings again, you hear the trombones, you hear the steel drums, you hear the mandolin, kind of like, and the saxophones and the clarinets. And it's just like a wrap up of the album. And it's almost as if the last like 40 seconds of the song is its own other song. Like there's the guitar solo, and then when the harp and the orchestral comes in, it's like, okay, this is like the ending of the album now.
Wow. And like what you said before with Tom, as the other component to this is to mix all of that.
Oh my God, I feel so bad for him. I was such a jerk through it all. I was like, no, this. And I think towards the end, I just burnt him out. Like when we got to play it back, he's like, "Bro, it's done." I'm like, "Okay, it's done. It's not what I want, but it's done. I get it." I love you, Palm. I love you so much, man.
That's the thing, though, man. When you have the ideas, when you hear it in your head, it's difficult to communicate what you're hearing. It's a challenge to make it come alive, you know. And
like I didn't even know what I really, really wanted. I just knew I wanted this round effect, and I wanted you to hear all the vocals. And then I think that the main thing that kind of threw us off is we had like 5 different instruments soloing too. So there's like electric guitar solo, and then it goes into harmony, and then there's a mandolin solo, and there's a trumpet just going off. And like I just think we needed to rein back on it a tiny bit. That's all.
Hey, man, this is a true artist right here. He's promoting his album, and he's like going, it wasn't good enough. You're a true artist, man.
No, I'm really, really happy with the whole thing. I think they're as songs, I'm happy with the songs, but I think what the strong thing about the album is the way that we recorded them. They're recorded really well, and there's a lot of great players on it, man. And that'll just do it. Like I wanted the album to have this sense of controlled chaos where I did write out a lot of parts for the instruments. I wrote out a lot of parts that were like, this is what you're playing, let's do it. But then when we record the foundation, bass, drums, the guitar, that's straight jamming. That's in the moment, like wasn't super planned out. Like we did like 6 or 7 takes and we just jammed. So you get the feeling of the band just like you're at a live show, but then there's like these orchestral instruments that are playing these specific parts. So yeah, just trying to go for that controlled chaos. And I think it's a unique thing that really makes the recording stand out for sure.
You guys recorded as the band, the foundation. You guys recorded live at once?
Drums and bass and electric guitar were recorded at once. We overdubbed some bass, we overdubbed some extra guitars, a lot of extra guitars, and then we overdubbed acoustic guitar and mandolin, and we had a synth player and mellotron and upright piano, Wurlitzer and Rhodes. Like just we had access to so many great instruments and so many great players, so we were like, let's use them. Oh dude, we got like a steel drum player to roll through, because like we were working on the song Simple and Plain, and after we thought it was finished, like it ended up being this like island song, because we had all these saxophones and the great bongo playing by Andrew Ho, and then the tuba was really prominent. I'm like, well, bongos, tubas, saxophones, this just feels like island music to me. I want to get a steel drum. So we waited another 1.5 years until we found the right player, and the dude came in, and we ended up putting him on Play It Back also. There's a steel drum, like almost sounds like an electric guitar. It's cool. And then he's on Ghost too. So he's on 3 of the songs.
That's so cool, man. And that, what you just said, because when you mentioned before steel drum, I was like, I don't even know how to play that thing. And it's a particular instrument. It has its own like, technique to it. So that's cool that you got somebody that knows that instrument. I'm sure it sounds fucking awesome.
Amazing. He was a friend of a friend, and he came in and he just ripped it. It was awesome. It's just working with great players. Bruce on the trumpet was awesome. He came in and just like played. I wrote out parts, and he played them in 2 different octaves. So like we did 2 different takes. He busted out his flugelhorn too. Like my buddy Magnus, my roommate from college, lives in Norway and just happened to be in New York after we graduated for like a week. He's like, yo, I'm in New York. What are you doing? I'm like, yo, go rent a saxophone and come in and let's track you on this album. And he played on like 3 or 4 of the songs. He brought like 2 of his Norwegian friends with him, and they're like the trombone player and the trumpet player for Norway's Got Talent. Like America's Idol, the Norwegian version. They're the players for that. And then after they left, I got Michael Squillis to come in, and he just like finished out the album with me, and he killed it. And Andrew Ludwig on the trombone. I can go on and on. Like these players were incredible. Man.
Totally.
Players were just so good.
That's awesome. I mean, you got me thinking about like, so I'm trying to get in your head of how you think about music and how what's your first like approach, because for me it's percussion. I know percussion really well, classical, new classical, and drums and a little bit of Latin, but like I know how to make drums and percussion sound what they're supposed to be, basically. So for you though, as an arranger, you got a great education, I'm sure. Like what are your foundations for for the way you approach, I guess, writing for instruments that, because you're going to be in a band. Let's be honest, right? You're going to be on stage in a band. So, but when you're making it, when you're writing something to be recorded, what's your approach to going, you know what, man, I want some orchestral behind this?
Yeah. Okay. So when I'm like getting ready to work on like a recording session, and I'm there just as like a guitar player, like I like to talk to people and ask them like what they kind of want, like what songs do you want? And, like we'll listen to them, and I'll just straight up I'll listen to it and I'll be like, oh, the guitar player is doing something like this, so I'll do something like that. If they're showing me a song with horns in it, I notice, okay, these horns are more stabby, or are they more like long form? Are they just kind of doing pads? You just kind of like use the references for what other people want, and you try to like mold it to kind of like sound like what their references are without being too much like plagiarism. Like, so that's what I do when I'm doing other people's stuff. When I work on my own music, it always just starts with an acoustic guitar, and it's just like a couple chords or a riff, and then like once I get like lyrically the hook of the song, the like the I got you moment, then I can base an entire song after it. So like with Girl on My Songs, it was Made That Girl Hate Me, I Forgot Her Birthday. All right, great. And then the whole song kind of flourished after that because I had it. Same thing with Bike Song. I had the idea of writing about a girl and a bike both leaving at the same time. And then the whole song flourishes. If I don't have that like seed and I'm just kind of like pulling at threads, the song will never happen. And then when I go to record it, it's really about what I have. So like I know I have with the live band now, I got a great trombone player in Andrew Ludwig. I got a great saxophone player in Steve Heimberg, and he has soprano, alto, bari, and tenor, so we can choose between them. I got great percussion and drummers, so that's the musicians I have, and I just kind of work with it. And you figure out what registers you want the music to be in. If you want it to be lower, well then good. I'll have the tuba and the trombone player. If I need it to be higher, I tell Steve to break out the alto sax, and like just kind of always support the melody. Don't ever step on it. Support it. And that's kind of, I don't know if that was a rambling way to answer the question. But
no, it's a great insight, because I was going to say too, tell me if I'm wrong. It seems as though you have your moments where you fluctuate between like totally open mind, right, to like specific, particular. Like you have your moments of I'm sure. I kind of want it to be this way, or I want whatever it might be. Yeah,
well, when it comes to the new stuff, like that's how it's been. Like I'm very open mind. I listen to my players, like they're the ones that are playing the music and what's comfortable for them to play. Because when your players are comfortable, they'll perform the piece a little bit better. And then I'll break out my computer and do a little score. The thing is, like my old laptop with all my like recording gear and all my arranging gear died on me. So like, yeah. So we're doing a release show in 2 days, and like the band's like reading charts that they're actually not the finished charts. They're like 80% done. So I'm just like, oh, damn it. But they're good. They know where to go off book, and it'll be a fun little show from the Saint that we stream. It's not super, super high pressure.
That's cool. I mean, and what you said before, by the way, I appreciate that as a drummer, when you said, I want the players to feel comfortable. I actually want to like, and not what you're doing is you're saying, hey, I value your opinion.
No, totally do. I don't play their instrument. I'm not the one that's on stage that's going to have to do it. I've played a lot of gigs where I'm coming in and I'm like, I don't really like this part sounds cool when it's right, but I would just do it a little differently to make it flow better on stage. And I'm like not allowed to do that. So it makes the delivery not as good. It's all about the delivery. It's all about the energy when you're playing. You want the energy and everyone to like feel the same kind of emotion.
If you could believe it, as a drummer, I have had where it's like, my opinion is not valued at all. I've been in, only a few situations like that where the song, or whoever wrote the songs was so particular, and not open-minded at all. And that's tough. I mean, and like you said, when you're not comfortable, you don't perform. When you feel restricted, limitation's okay, but restriction's not cool. No, so when you feel restricted, it's like, I feel like I can't play my best. Then they're not getting what they want, essentially.
Yeah, because I can play the exact thing that's supposed to be played, and like it'll be the right notes, but is the right feeling there? Is the right emotion there? Like the emotion is what really people resonate with.
How do we get our instruments to emote like that, man?
Hands, dude. It's your hands. Your hands are like, it's all about your dynamics. And then also the tone. It's like if I'm a guitar player, the amp and the pedals that I'm using are very important too. I'm not saying that they aren't, but really at the end of the day, it's your hands. Your hands are gonna play it the way that they play it.
You think you mentioned dynamics, because a lot of people think, yeah, the having different, if you're even a simple beat, right, having dynamic differences between, like, let's say hi-hats, the snare, and the kick drum, where it's very controlled and very specific dynamic differences. It could be like really, I guess you wind up having a really thoughtful musical statement, as opposed to if you just wrote down the notes.
Oh yeah, dude, that's everything. That's why like you get lost in MIDI so much. Like when people just like MIDI out their music, like there's no feeling there. You need to feel it, and like you need to play the instrument like someone that would play the instrument. Like that's part about being like, I can sit at the drums and I can play a beat, but you can hear that I'm not a drummer. Like a drummer playing the same exact beat as me, it's just gonna feel right. I'm not gonna play it correct. Like it's gonna be sloppy and chunky. I'm gonna be hitting the hi-hat at a certain like power and the snare at a different power, and your timing's gonna be just a little bit off. Like there's a difference between just like sitting down and playing the instrument and being a player.
Taking time and yes, committing to being a player. So real fast, just give a little background. Like, when did you start? What got you into music?
I kind of just always wanted to do it. I was like 5 years old when I took my first guitar lesson.
Wow.
And then yeah, it was just, I just always knew I was gonna be a musician. Like, and then it's kind of weird because I feel like the child in me is controlling. Like that 5-year-old is in the back of my head going, we said we're gonna play guitar, so you better still play guitar, 28-year-old. And it's like, okay. But I'm happy I've made that decision. I made every decision in my life around prioritizing the music, and it's been so much fucking fun. It's just been so much fun. Like sometimes you get like too bogged down in it, and like you forget that it's music, it's your art, and like yeah, you got to take it seriously, but like you don't want it to just like weigh on you so heavily.
Yeah, you got to enjoy it.
Yeah, you really got to enjoy it, and like I do enjoy it, and just holding this CD that we got in the mail yesterday just feels awesome.
The album art looks so good.
Yeah, dude, Joe Ruff, man, he did a fucking fantastic job on this album art. Like I never thought I would be this happy with the art. I'm just so happy with it.
It kind of reflects a little bit of the philosophy of your album, which is, you know, you'll be listening to a song and you're like, is that a steel drum in the back? You know, there's so much like depth to the image.
And he called out a lot of the songs, which is nice. The raining, April Came in the Rain, the sun peeking out, Sunday, the gazebo from the Carpe Diem music video, a monkey on a bike. Like he did a real good job with it.
Looks
like,
good. Looks great.
Yeah, I'm stoked. So if you're listening, go look at the album art.
Yeah, Foes of Fern. I'm gonna put all the links in the description of this. I had another question for you. Where was I gonna go with that? When you're doing your live performance, this is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing your live performance, you know, you have this album with a lot of sounds on each song. How do you decide which songs are going to make the band live arrangement?
Ooh, well, for Saturday, tomorrow, we're doing like a live stream at the Saint. We're just playing the entire album. But at first, I was just, because the way the band just kind of like happened was all my other bands ended. So I was just kind of like going time by time. And like this show, I have a bass player and a drummer. This show, there's also an acoustic guitar player. This show, there's a tuba player. This show, there's this extra instrument. So like I would just kind of go with the easiest songs. And a lot of the easy songs aren't on this album. So like when we were playing as the Foes in 2018 to 2020, we'd be playing maybe 2 or 3 songs off this album, and the rest, like 6 or 7 originals, would be newer stuff, because these songs are all like 4 years old. So I guess I would just kind of pick the tunes that A, I thought the audience would enjoy the most, and B, I figured my band could actually play. Now, like the band knows all these songs. If we started gigging again for real, we'd probably throw some in. But we're all ready for album 2. I have album 2 all written out, and that's the album that my current band actually knows how to play well.
Wow.
Songs like we have the couch surfing, and we have a Venmo song. We have Money Man, Time Management, Rerun. There's like all these tunes that we've been playing for a while that I'm really excited to get into and record, because it's going to be a completely different album. It's not going to be record as many players as possible. It's going to be record the players that I have and make it as good with these 10 guys that I'm going to be on the road with.
That's so fucking cool. That's cool. Cause I was going to say you have such a dedication with those 10 band members, and as you play together, you're all going to get that your sound, that 10-person sound is going to get so good.
Yeah.
And capturing that, maybe even writing for that would be.
Yeah, that's totally the idea right now. It's about like trying to make it a real band that like in the future, when we release a song, it's not exactly how it sounds live. I still want the recording world to be different than the live world, but it's definitely closer. Like I'm never going to be able to play Carpe Diem the way it sounds on the album. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Never. So it's just about going forward. I think I want to make the recordings as good as possible while still making them translate live as easy as possible.
So cool, man. What are some? I try to like ask this question because it fascinates me. What are some of the best live music experiences as a viewer, as an audience member that you can recall?
I mean, I had a blast going to Firefly when I was younger. I went 2 years in a row and just like camping out, and like I think I saw Bob Dylan play there, which was really cool for me. I was like, yeah, it's Bob Dylan. Everyone's like excited for all these like pop artists. I'm like, Bob Dylan, let's do it. But yeah, I think just like big, huge festival kind of performances where everyone that is there is just there for the music, and you can bounce around between 3 or 4 different stages, and there's a huge ass schedule. I've just always wanted to have that experience as a performer. That's been something that I've been trying to like grab my entire life. And, you know, COVID and everything, you're not sure if it's ever going to really happen right now. So you have to just readjust. But that is the ultimate viewing experience for me. Like I've been to shows at Madison Square Garden and it's awesome, or just go into the city for like a one-off concert, which is great. I still love doing that. But like, I love the festival life. It's just so much fun. Get some food, run around, have some drinks, catch so much music, don't care about anything else in the world besides the music that's happening. That's the ultimate to me.
Is there a particular performance though, at like whether it was at a festival or not, that you were just wowed by, stunned by?
When I was 12, I went to Giant Stadium with my parents, and I had to see Bruce Springsteen for like my first real concert. And I was 12 years old, and the guy just played forever. Yeah. He didn't have an opener, and he played like 3 or 4 hours. And that's something that stuck with me forever. It doesn't matter what time you go on. It doesn't matter how long or how short. You just put your all out on the stage at any time, and you'll reap the benefits from it. So, like, for me, like, it doesn't matter if I'm playing a gig up in, like, Pennsylvania to like 12 people at 1 a.m., which we did a couple months ago, or if I'm playing a sold out show at the Asbury Lanes or something. You put your all out on the stage, and you don't half-ass it. If that means you play a super long set or you die on stage, you die on stage. Like that's what I've always wanted. I've always wanted to die on stage.
Die on stage. That's a good goal. That's so cool. So Asbury Park is that your stomping grounds in terms of music performance and your network?
That's where I am right now. I got a house in Asbury, about 2 or 3 blocks from the Saint. I love it here. I definitely miss the live music life. I miss performing and seeing like the smaller concerts, but like it's still just Asbury Park in general is nice. I walk to the beach every day that I can now. Like I've never done that before in summer, because summer's normally on the road playing shows, doing sessions. Yeah. Prioritizing other things, but because of COVID and everything, I've got to enjoy the beach and the nature side of Asbury, and then just the nature side of life. We got a lot of beautiful parks and a lot of great places to watch the stars in New Jersey.
So speaking of COVID, like I know that you and I both had a thing that was kind of cut by COVID. That was Luke coming into town probably back in May. We were
Yeah,
gonna.
I was looking forward to that.
Me too, man. I was so looking forward to that. Was there anything else that kind of COVID, fucked you on? Like, did you have like a big tour?
I mean, we were planning on, nothing was really booked, but we started because like this in about late February, early March, we were doing meetings on how to like drive from Jersey to California and back and play shows along the way.
Wow.
We had like 2 or 3 tentative gigs on the books, but like obviously we weren't able to do that. That would have been rad. And like, yeah, I mean, a lot of my friends were having weddings that I wanted to go to, and I was going to release this album way sooner and tour off of it and play a show where like I could sell out and play to a huge crowd. The show we're doing tomorrow is going to be to an empty room since we're streaming it. So it's like, yeah. I mean, but everyone has their thing that COVID took away, and I hope everyone has a thing that they gained from this experience too. Because I've never been one that really got to just have slow days and just go for a nice walk. Like I've really been appreciating that side of life these days.
Yeah, I'm glad you said. I hope people recognize what they gained from, the quarantine. That's powerful stuff to think about that, because I gained this. I launched this the first weekend of the lockdown.
There you go, man. Yeah.
I mean, I had already been recording for months, but yeah, and this has been what I've been focused on. Also, too, this is my like virtual teaching setup right here that you're.
Yeah, you buy your drums. I was wondering if you're gonna like do some playing or something.
If you request it, I will play it. But yeah, this is like my teaching station. So, cool. Now in the future, and I told Joe this, and in the future when we're past this bullshit, we can like be in front of each other. I would love to have you come in, or we'll work it out somehow. Do some live performance podcast.
Yeah, that would be awesome, man. We could get Luke to come through, and we could do some tunes with him.
Oh, dude, that'd be great. Because that's the thing. I think that you talking about like your perspective of how you think of music and how you approach it, it's so powerful to hear it when it's described so well and it sounds like it works for you. Especially for anybody like listening who wants to start, writing music, or even like, I have music ideas, but I'm too afraid to ask people for help. Like I play the guitar, but I don't play the piano. I would love to have or a singer or something like that.
Yeah, people are afraid to ask, which is weird. I have a couple of friends that have just started like writing music and stuff, and I've been trying to just help them and guide them along, but they're all very like what's the word? Shy. I guess shy. They're just shy about it. They don't want to like just show what they have. It's like a lot of people when they perform or they like play their music for someone, like this is a perfect finished song, yay. But for me, it's like, no, show me what you're working on. Show me like your half idea, and like maybe we can come up with something, or you can just ask me my opinion, or you can just play it, because when you play your half idea, sometimes it's more than a half idea, and you just need to play it out in front of someone to understand that.
Do you share what Joe kind of when he sees an act, like specifically when he's thinking about taking on like a recording for Telegraph Hill Records, right? He said something great. He's like, I'm looking for even, and whether it's a voice, somebody's voice, or a song or a sound that a band might have, and I know it's incomplete, but I can hear where it can go, and I want to help them get there. Is that how you think of that?
That is something how we both do a lot of it. We just started tracking this like this band. They don't have a name yet, but Alex Galeastro, she has a lot of amazing songs, and I met her when she like jumped in the car and went on tour with us to Nashville, and she was playing her tunes, and Palm and I were just really impressed with these songs, the chords she was using, and the way that her vocals were in the lyrics. And a year goes by and she's still working it. She shows us that it's not just like a hobby for her, and she wants to do it. And we bring her into the studio and we try to like expand the sound and get it to where it can be. It's really important for us to find people that aren't just going to walk away from it, or they want to do it, but like it's like number 20 on their to-do list. Like there's so much talent out there. So the next thing, it's do you have the talent and do you have the work ethic for it? And the work ethic is huge. And if we see that you have the talent and there's something there and we want to help you bring it to somewhere else, and as long as you have the work ethic, we'll love to work with you.
So cool. So I guess you're a major part of Telegraph Hill Records
I've been
too.
doing it with Palm since the beginning. So like with the Foes of Fern, I kind of run that, and Palm helps me so much. He does like anything I need, and like he's my like person I could talk to, and like I value his opinion like crazy. And Telegraph, Palm runs, and I'm like right there behind him. Like if he needs anything, networking, studio help, like I'm at like all the sessions, and I've send bands in that I want to work with, and I take phone calls for the label, and yeah, so that's kind of like where both projects are. Telegraph and Foes of Fern, they're so linked together, but Telegraph Palm's kind of a little ahead of, and Foes of Fern I'm a little ahead of.
Gotcha. It seems like a great teamwork, man. Like really good.
It's awesome.
I was gonna say like so for listeners, I want you to remember these couple things. This is the first time I'm doing this. Like you said, powerful things. Listen, the information is there. I'm gonna repeat that. That's so necessary. If you're playing in a band, you don't know what to play, you don't know how your parts fit in, just listen, the information is there. It could be in the melody of the vocals, it could be in the lyrics of the vocals too. I like how you said that. The drummer could be doing it, the bass player could be doing it. The other thing, what you just said just now, which was I like how you said too, which was about socializing, getting to know people, like asking, right? Asking for somebody to don't be afraid to ask for help, because the worst they could say is no. And if they say yes, you might have you might meet somebody that now you have a back and forth with.
Getting to really know someone is awesome. Like I love sitting down with my drummer Owen Flanagan, and like I could just hear him, and like I know where he's going. He knows where I'm going. Sometimes we always don't make the same hits, but like we know what each other's looks mean, and like you just learn how to communicate with the people once you get to know them. It's really, really important.
So get to know people. Yeah, ask. Yeah, and it's so cool. I think what you guys are doing with Telegraph Hill is so cool.
Thanks, man.
I'm inspired by that. All right, Foes of Fern album. Carpe Diem is the name of the album.
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming out August 28th, right? Is that tomorrow? Or that's today?
It just came out today, yeah.
Awesome. So it's out, everybody. You got to go to The Foes, FOES of Fern, FERN. The Foes of Fern on Instagram. You got to go check it out. Follow them. Go on this. Is it on Spotify and all that stuff?
On Spotify right now, yeah. Spotify.
Awesome.
We have we ordered like 200 CDs. So we have limited CDs. If you want one, reach out to me. And if I still have them, I'll mail you them.
The artwork is so cool. It would be, I would recommend people to buy the CD. It looks really fucking cool.
I love the artwork so much, man. More than the album itself.
Yeah, dude. I'm going to buy it. I mean, I always, every time I have a guest on and they're putting out an album, I buy it because it's just fucking.
Very much appreciate the support, to my friend.
That is the music industry right there, and that's my part in it, I feel. So also follow Telegraph Hill Records on Instagram. So check out Foes of Fern, Carpe Diem. I'll put all the links in the description. Fern, man, anything else left to share?
No, got a music video coming out for Girl and All My Songs, directed by Rob Ciano. So that's going to be out August 31st. I'm really excited for that video. We spent so long working on it. And then a month later, I got a video for Carpe Diem, which comes out. And the two videos are like a through storyline. So like you watch one and then you watch the next one, you can see like, if you watch them together, it's like this 12-minute combo music video thing. So I'm really stoked on that.
That's pretty cool, man. I never thought of, that's kind of like, I've only seen like one band do that. And I think it was like Chili Peppers.
Oh, huh. I didn't even know they did it. I mean, yeah, people have done something like this before, doing like video albums where like each song has a video for. And I originally set out to do that on this album, but videos are very expensive and 11 songs is a lot.
Yes.
So you have 6 music videos which you can find online. One coming out in a couple days, the last one coming out in September. And those two, if you watch it with Bike Song, the three of them are like one story. So there's like a way to watch all the videos in like one like storyline if you really wanted to.
That's fucking so cool. All right, everybody. I mean, you heard it. Got to go check out Foes of Fern, the Foes of Fern videos, music videos. They sound fucking awesome. Fern, thank you so much, man, for being on. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, Anthony. Really awesome stuff. Love getting to talk to you. And maybe we'll do another session together someday.
I'd love it, man. That'd be fantastic.
Sweet.
All right. Thanks, bud. Thanks, everybody. Ba Dum Bizz to you.